How exactly can the Pro90D Smooth Speech System help you transform your speech? My name is Michael Williams, and in this short video, I'm going to explain to you exactly how the Pro90D Smooth Speech System can and does help you transform your speech. So you are watching this video more than likely because in one way or another you struggle with your speech. You stutter, you stammer, or you speak too fast. Perhaps English is your second language, and when you speak English, people may have a hard time understanding you. Or perhaps you have a fear of public speaking. Perhaps there are certain speaking situations, meetings, speaking with someone in authority, speaking on video now, speaking virtually, or on the phone, right? Where you tend to struggle more than you usually do. If this is the case, you're probably out there looking for a real life solution, that is a solution that actually works. So what I want to present to you in this video is how the Pro90D Smooth Speech System can and will help you transform your speech. And we do this in two ways. There are two areas, two dimensions, two aspects of your speech that we address. The first one is we help you what? Create, watch this, a confident, now this is important, mindset and, watch this, speaking identity. Speaking identity, okay? What do we mean by this? Well, let's take a look at something. Have you ever anticipated that you were going to have a hard time speaking? There was a meeting, a speaking situation, a phone call, even a word or a letter. Before you even open your mouth, you anticipated that, ooh, I'm going to have a hard time in this situation. I may get stuck. You begin to scan ahead, or, oh, here comes a word that I don't think I'm going to say. Has that ever happened to you? Okay. More than likely it has. If it has, what I want you to realize is that you anticipated, that is, you thought beforehand that you were going to struggle, but you hadn't even opened your mouth yet. You hadn't said anything, but yet you started to experience the struggle internally, mentally, psychologically, even emotionally. You even started to feel it, right? So one of the things that has to be addressed is your what? Your mindset and your speaking identity. And I will explain those briefly now, but here's the key here. The way you and I speak, how smoothly we speak, how confidently we speak, has to do with two dimensions. One of them is mental or psychological. That is, speaking for you and I is about, in part, how we think, right? You anticipate. It's how we think. It's how we feel. It's our attitudes. It's our beliefs about ourselves, right? So there's a thinking part to how we speak. And there's also a physical part. Sometimes people run out of air, or they block, they get stuck, or they speak in a choppy manner, right? All of these things can happen when people are struggling with this, or they're repeating words, right? All kinds of things like this. So there's both a physical, physiological, and psychological side to this, okay? So what we must do is change our mindset, what we think, how we think, and change our speaking identity. This is how we see ourselves, who we see ourselves to be, who we believe ourselves to be as a speaker. If we don't address that and we just use techniques and we just focus on the physical side, there's a whole nother dimension, a whole nother side to us that we're leaving out that can often have more of an impact on our speech than just the physical side. So if we just focus on breathing and on speaking a certain way, we could be leaving out a whole nother side of our speaking capabilities. Does this make sense? So what Pro90D does is it helps you create a confident mindset, right? And here's the thing. Our thoughts, the way that we think, our beliefs, our attitudes, are patterns, right? We have patterns of thinking, patterns of believing, right? Patterns of how we see ourselves. They're patterns, they're habits. And the good thing is that our patterns and habits can be changed or they can be replaced with new ones. The same thing with the way that we physically speak. It's a behavior, and behaviors can be changed. So if you experience any kind of disfluency, just know that that disfluency is a way of speaking, right? When you anticipate, that's a way of thinking, and both of those ways are behaviors, and behaviors can be modified, changed, and or replaced with new ones. That's the good news for you. So Pro90D helps you create a confident mindset, changes the way that you think about things, the way you think about your speech, the way you think about speaking situations, the way you think about yourself as a speaker. This helps you change your speaking identity, okay? So that you no longer see yourself as the kind of person who tends to stutter or stammer or get stuck. You start seeing yourself as a confident speaker able to handle any speaking situation. So this is the first way, all right? The second way is we help you create a smooth or smoother, clearer style of speaking. All right? Very, very simple. Very, very simple. We help you create a smoother or smooth and clearer style of speaking. By style of speaking, we're saying that sometimes people speak too fast. Sometimes people cut their words off. They don't enunciate or they don't articulate well. Sometimes people speak in a very choppy manner. Sometimes people actually forget to breathe, believe it or not, and they constantly run out of air. So we have to help them recalibrate their breathing. And there's lots of other things. If a person is a severe stutterer, or not even severe, but if they tend to stammer, you may hear them do certain things, or you may see them do certain things with their body, with their eyes, with their face, right, with their entire body sometimes. So we help you change that behavior and replace it with something much better using what we call proactive speaking skills. So how do we do this? How do we help you create? How do we help you create a confident mindset and speaking identity, both critically important, and a smoother, clear style of speaking? How do we do that? Well, what we do is we provide you with the tools that you need to change your thinking, audios, videos, and in some cases, some things that are written, right? Because you and I learn in part by what we see, by what we hear, also by what we taste and smell and what we experience, what we do, right? These are the basic ways that you and I can learn and what we hear. So we provide you with the resources that you need so that you can take in information that will help change the way that you think and feel and speak. We also provide you with a daily routine or daily practices that help you change the way that you speak. So we're helping you change the way that you think, right? The thoughts that are going through your mind, and we help you change the way that you speak through these exercises. Now, what happens and what has to happen is there must be consistent repetition. That is, these are things that you must do every day consistently. Why? Because it's the way your brain works. If you don't repeat these behaviors, the thinking, right? The thinking and the speaking, if you don't repeat them, they won't become your new patterns. Someone says, well, how do you know that this will work? Well, for a person who has a stroke, this literal damage to parts of their brain, if that person can retrain their brain to walk and to speak well, then guess what? So can you. So can you, right? And we've helped Hundreds and hundreds and thousands of people do it. I've done it, and you can do it as well if you want. So there's two ways that we can help you. One, you can work on your own using one of our self-studies. Two, you can work with me privately in our private coaching. Now, I'll tell you, this is not easy, but it's so much easier than living a life where you are struggling and where you're limited and you feel trapped, right? That's much harder than this process. Life can be so much different and freer for you. You can take advantage of many more opportunities if you set aside some time to transform your speech. So there's two ways that we can help you. One is you can work on your own. We have the self-study for you with everything in it. And two, we can work with you privately. When we work with you privately, it accelerates your progress by at least 10 times. How do I know this? The average person that comes to me, in fact, more than the average person, most people who come and work with me privately have been watching my videos or taking a course for around 2 years, sometimes many more years. So when they come and they work with me privately, they're able to achieve much more in 2 to 3 months than they were working by themselves in 2 to 3 years. Okay, so you get minimally, you're able to accelerate your progress by as much as 10 times. Some people already know that they need the consistency and they need the repetition to help them, and they need the insight, that is the evaluation and feedback. You and I don't know what we don't know, so sometimes we need people to say, hey, what do I need to focus on first? So that's what you get with the coaching. Some of you are not going to be ready for the coaching now, or you're not going to be able to afford it for one reason or another. So start with the self-study because it works. It's based on the system that I'm telling you. So if you're out there, you're starting with your speech, you're looking for a real solution, a solution that will help you not just stop stuttering, overcome stuttering, or stop speaking too fast, or even if you have an accent and that's been hurting you. This program is not designed to help you just stop that. It's designed to help you become an excellent speaker, an above average speaker. So here's an example that I always give. You have two people, equally qualified, go into an interview. One person just, they don't stutter, they don't stammer, and they're qualified. The second person is an excellent speaker. They're able to articulate, they use great body language, they're very clear, they're very smooth, they engage the people that they're listening to. Both people used to struggle with their speech, but one person is now an excellent speaker, and the other person just doesn't stutter. All things being equal, who's going to get the job? Well, the person who's an excellent speaker. So Pro90D is designed for you if you're a professional and or you're professionally minded and you want to become an excellent speaker, not just stop doing whatever it is that you're doing. So I want to make sure that you understand how we're distinguished from other programs. We want to help you excel. We want to help you be on that cutting edge, take your speech to that next level. The kinds of people we work with are doctors and engineers and business owners and all kinds of professionals. And we also work with students as well. We help you create a confident mindset and new speaking identity, and we help you create a smoother, clearer style of speaking so that these things become a part of who you are. They become natural so that you're not constantly just thinking about using tips and tricks and techniques. So I hope that this video was helpful for you. I hope that I've been able to clearly lay out for you exactly how the Pro90D Smooth Speech System can help you transform your speech. We address these two issues and we provide you with a systematic process and approach through audios, through videos, through coaching, right, to help you stay consistent long enough to create these new patterns of thinking and believing and new patterns of speaking. Thank you so much. I look forward to working with you. Go ahead and select which option is going to be best for you, working on your own, or if you want to accelerate that progress, that process, then you can work with me personally. Look forward to working with you. Look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you later.